Good morning. Welcome back to my channel where I show you how to cook food for yourself from scratch and keep you on a budget. So this morning I'm going to make hash browns. So you do not have to buy frozen hash browns. These are so easy to make. You're going to save a lot of money. You're going to be able to do a lot of things with that bag of potatoes that you bought. And one of them is going to be making hash browns. So for me, usually one hash brown, I'm gonna do one potato per person. So I've got my potato here because it's just me that's eating this morning, and I've got it all washed off already. And when I say washed off, I'm really using water and my hands and maybe a brush if it's dirty. Don't throw soap or something on your potato. You don't want to do that. And we're gonna be peeling it anyway, so we're not gonna have to worry about dirt that might be on the peel. So I got my peeler. First thing I'm gonna do, get my potato peeled. Oh, this potato peeler needs a little bit of help. Always do this away from yourself so you don't cut your hands. Now when you peel potatoes, you gotta make sure that you throw these peels into your trash. Do not put them into a garbage disposal. You will muck it up and nobody will be happy with you, including yourself. So potato peels go in the garbage. Unless you're somebody who is wanting to do some composting or something, then you can certainly put it in a compost bucket, but I'm not gonna get into all that today. Today we're just worrying about cooking our food. All right, that's pretty good for me. I'm gonna put my potato down, get this together. I'm gonna throw this into the trash. All right, and then I am gonna grab myself a knife here and I'm just gonna, let's see, I might not have to. I'm grabbing my handy dandy shredder again. I love this shredder. I used it in my last video for cheese. It is the best thing ever. If you want to buy a gadget, making your own food, I highly recommend this. All right, let me see how big my potato is. Oh, it's gonna fit. I'm not gonna have to worry about cutting it in half at all. So good, got my potato there. Let me get my, where did I put my plate? I'm gonna get my plate out here. I'm gonna put down some paper towel on here also. All right, get that just lined up there. And we're just gonna shred the potato. Put a little pressure on it while we're shredding it. All right, get all that out of there. Now this potato is gonna be a little bit wet when it comes out of here, you'll notice that. So that's why I have the paper towel. So you're gonna take it, and then I just kind of fold it in on top of it, just to dry it up a bit. Press it down, get that water out of the potato. Flip it over, there. All right. So there's our potato, ready to go into the skillet. Don't grab the paper towel, just get the potato. Okay, so I had cooked some bacon yesterday, so I saved that grease in my pan. And I'm gonna use that today to make my hash brown. I'm gonna highly recommend, if you're trying to save money, you can always reuse that bacon grease for cooking eggs, cooking whatever you wanna cook, whatever you wanna eat the next day. Good for, like I said, hash browns, gonna give it a good flavor. If you don't have bacon grease, you can use olive oil, you can use avocado oil, you can use coconut oil, you can use lard. I would recommend all of those for cooking. I would not recommend necessarily starting with butter because this is gonna cook for a little while, and when you cook with butter, butter's gonna burn fast. So for the base of the cooking, use one of those oils, but then when it's almost done, you can throw in a pat of butter at that point if you want, just for that extra buttery flavor, but don't use it at the beginning because you're gonna burn your butter, okay? So, all right, so I've got my little tater mix here. I've got my skillet is hot. All right. We're just going to dump this potato right down in there. You hear it sizzling. I'll bring you a little closer. Okay. I'm just going to take a spatula and I'm going to move those potato shreds around to get the oil all over it. You want to get it working all through there. Don't worry about making it into a shape just yet. You're just trying to get all those shreds of potato covered. Alright. And then when I'm done, I just kind of thin them out a little bit. I don't want to put them just completely in a big clump in the middle because then it's just not going to cook right. You want to be able to get that heat even through there while you're getting this started. And then I'm going to put a little salt. And where did I put that pepper? Oh, I lost the pepper. Here's the pepper. And a little pepper. Alright. Now because we're trying to crisp these potatoes along with cook them, we're going to put that heat a little bit higher than some other things that we're cooking. So I'd say if you got an electric stove, probably about between 6 and 7, kind of a medium-high heat, is kind of what you're going for. And if you got gas, you're going to have to just kind of judge what kind of flame you want, but you want it a little bit higher because that's how you're going to get the nice crisp on the outside of your hash brown. Another thing that's going to help it to cook a little faster and get all that heat into that potato nicely is if you put a lid on it. So I'm going to put a lid on it, but you got to keep an eye on it with the lid, okay? Don't just put the lid on, walk away, start doing something and forget about your hash brown because you're going to burn it. So I'm going to give it probably about, let's say about 3 minutes, and then we'll check and see where we're at, if it's, we'll give an update on what that's looking like. Okay, so it's been about 3 minutes, and you can see right around in here, can you see the hash brown starting to get that cooked brown look to it? So having that lid on there really sped up that process. And you see it kind of starts to move as one piece. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get it all flipped. It's probably not going to stay in one piece while we flip. That's okay. Get it all flipped together. I'm going to give it a little more salt and pepper. Alright, I'm going to cover it again. We'll give it maybe another, check on it in about 2 minutes, see where we're at. Okay, so I gave it another 3 minutes with the cover on. I just took it off. You see it's kind of moving around as one piece, so that's nice. Looking pretty good. I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to flip this one more time. And don't worry if your flip's not perfect, it's still going to be a hash brown. See that? And now I think I'm going to put on a little butter. Let that butter flavor melt in. Maybe just a tad more salt. All right, and I'm going to cover this for 2 more minutes. And then we'll have our hash brown. All right, it's been 2 more minutes, and I'm going to call this good for my hash brown. I'm happy with the brown color on it. Moves around well, and I'm just going to slide it out of here onto my plate. And that is ready to go. And I'm going to end up putting some eggs with it this morning, I think. So I'll just use that same pan, cook my eggs. A little salt on the eggs, probably a little pepper also. If you've never cooked eggs before, you see it's pretty clear, and we got the orange yolk, of course, and then the white part, which is going to be white. It starts off clear, and it's pretty liquidy, but as it cooks, you'll find it firms up nicely. So you don't really want to try and move your eggs until after that has happened. That's just going to take it a minute. And I could put my lid back on to make this go a little bit faster, but I have a tendency to cook the yolk too much when I have put the lid on, and I really don't like to cook the yolks. I like them to be nice and soft and runny on top of the hash browns. So I'm just gonna take my time and get it cooked up right. You see this part over here, this is really cooked, so no worries, that's not gonna hurt anything. And this part is just not quite as centered on the heat because it's got a little bit of an angle to it. And I just separate them out. Make sure they keep doing their thing. Try not to disturb that yolk. Okay, now you see, well, a little runny still there. Not bad, but a little bit. I really want it to all be white before I flip the egg over to keep it all together like it's supposed to be. So we'll give that just another minute here, and then we'll flip them, and breakfast will be ready. Now, if you don't care about your yolks, if you like them cooked through and you like them nice and hard, then don't worry about being delicate. You can just pop a hole in all of them with your spatula if you want. But you gotta be a little gentle if you want to keep that yolk intact. So, all right, I'm gonna think this is ready to flip. It's all nice and white. That one flipped over. That one flipped over. And this one flipped over. Oop. The way I was taught is once they flip, I turn the oven off. And they're just gonna have 30 seconds or so on this side, and they're gonna be done. That should be good. Slide them right. See, my yolk broke right at the end there, so that'll be fine. That won't be an issue. All right. And there you see, we got eggs and hash browns for breakfast today. Let me check and see if I managed to maintain those yolks. Oh yeah, see? And then that's nice yolk for your hash brown. I hope you enjoyed learning to cook eggs and hash browns this morning. And good luck, give it a try. Your only way you're gonna learn is to practice and try. So don't be afraid, you can do it, you can make food happen.